in the office like we never left with a special person that we all fell in love with the first day because he was giving all these facts in the day that we met. Remember that
I do
day?
remember, but I'm blushing now because you said you fell in love.
We're here with an attorney general candidate, right?
Correct.
Your name is Steven
Leskovich,
and you have an amazing resume. But before we talk about you deciding you wanted to run, I wanted you to give a little bit of information about yourself.
All right. I'm Steven Leskovich. I am an attorney here in the state of Florida. I've been an attorney for the last 26 years, almost 26 years.
Oh, wow.
I'm also an attorney in the state of Ohio and Washington, D.C., licensed in federal courts. I have worked in the prosecutor's office. I have worked in the private sector. I am currently an elected official in Charlotte County, currently the city attorney for the city of Punta Gorda. I have handled cases between criminal law, between civil law, between any type of government law.
When do you sleep?
You know what? You know what? I have a wonderful wife who allows me to sleep every now and then. I have a 9-year-old daughter. Actually, no, it just turned 10 yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Yes, thank you. I have a 10-year-old daughter who keeps me busy. Mm-hmm. And it's, it's a lot of running around.
It is.
It is.
How do you do with work and family? How do you divide yourself? Because you're a busy person.
It's a lot of going back to growing up. I have 2 parents who were teachers. And a lot of it was sound mind, sound body. Mm-hmm. If you find a way to work to live as opposed to living to work, then it makes things a lot easier.
Right, it does.
So I go to my job, whether it's for 4 hours a day or for 20 hours a day, because that's what allows me to live. Whereas some people, all they want to do is just work,
yeah,
and don't take time out for their family, their friends, their dogs, their cats, or whatever.
Yeah.
So I work to live. And there's times where, when I'm at home, I turn my phone off for several hours just to focus on the family.
I'm learning how to do that because I'm such a workaholic and I'm very passionate what I do. So I'm now, after 10 years having my own business, is when I'm finally saying, okay, Sundays is the day of God, so we're turning off the phone and trying to dedicate to the family.
I certainly understand.
It's hard.
It is hard. It is hard. When I was in my 20s and I was a young attorney, I was working 60, 70 hours a week. Mm-hmm. And it was just work, and then sleep when I could.
Yeah.
And, now that I'm 50 years old, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
I've got to take time out for myself. Mm-hmm. I have to take time out for my family. I have to take time out for my friends, you know, and travel.
And live. When we first met you, it was in a month ago in the Venezuela Republican group that they do this monthly. You came up to each person, you gave everybody a business card, and I noticed first you had your personal cell phone. That to me was number one key. I look at everything, and second, it said MAGA Republican. And I've noticed lately there's been a lot of separations. Can you explain what's going on? Why is there so much? If we're all Republicans, why are there so many separation?
Well, first let me address your one point about my cell phone number on the back of my business card.
Yes.
I am all about building meaningful relationships. Mm-hmm. And if you are representing the people of the state of Florida, or if you have a client, regardless of what the case may be, I think giving my cell phone number out indicates, hey, I'm available.
Yes.
I may not call you back that same day, but I will get back to you.
It's true.
And it's very important. It's very important to build those types of strong relationships. Mm-hmm. And it's very important that, people understand each other. I think being an attorney, it's important for me to understand who Mercy is. Not just why you're in my office for a legal problem.
Right.
It's very important for me to understand, you know, who you
have that
are
bond.
and where you came from, to learn about you, your family, your job, your culture, your whatever. That's why I put my cell phone number on.
I love it.
Now, my team and my staff think I'm crazy. But I think it's very important. That's one value that I'll never get rid of. Now, to address your second point, I do have on my card MAGA Republican. The way I see our political culture going now, especially in Florida, there are two components to the Republican Party. You have your MAGA Republicans and you have your DeSantis Republicans. There's two factions forming. And it's already becoming evident.
It is.
Because the administrations, although they are cordial with one another, they kind of see things different looking forward.
Yes.
So,
yes,
to me, here's the difference. Either you're going to fix a problem or you're going to solve a problem. To me, the MAGA Republicans want to fix a problem. The DeSantis Republicans want to solve a problem. Now, the MAGA Republicans are forward-looking. They're based on policy. They're based on procedure. They're based on principle. To me, the DeSantis Republicans are more tailored towards the culture wars, the political wars, what's the hot topic of the day, what is in the now. That is solving a problem. For example, we want to eliminate property taxes. But I've never heard the current administration in Florida tell us how they want to do it. They just say, we want to get rid of property taxes. Well, how in the hell are you going to get rid of property taxes altogether when property taxes pay for your fire departments, your police departments, your law enforcements, for the schools? I mean, the purpose of the taxes are to help to benefit the community. So, to me, the DeSantis administration wants to solve a problem. The Trump administration, the MAGA Republicans want to fix a problem. Solving it, and the best example I can give is property taxes. But before I get to that, it's kind of like if you have a plumbing problem at your home. Let's say your toilet's backed up. You might call a plumber, and they're going to come in and say, well, there's too much toilet paper. Well, they just solved the problem.
Right.
But now you need someone to actually fix the problem. Where is the problem? Is it in the pipes going all the way out to the road? Is it in the drainage right under the toilet? Now you need someone to fix it. The MAGA Republicans are about the policy, the principle, and the procedure. They want to fix the problem. But you can't fix it without solving it.
Correct.
So, an example I'll give is property taxes. That's a hot debated topic right now.
That was one of my questions.
Well, you know, listen, and it's a great political talking point.
It is.
It really is. But ask yourself this question, Mercy. Has Governor DeSantis come out and said how he intends to solve the property tax issue?
No.
The answer is no.
No.
He keeps saying we need to eliminate property taxes.
Right.
You shouldn't have to pay taxes on a home you own. Now, I personally agree with that.
Right, but how are they going to do that?
But how are you going to do it?
Are the tolls going to go up, or
Are tolls going to go up? Are they going to have a sales tax on us? Are they going to increase something else? Because property taxes pay for law enforcement, pays for fire departments, pays for
the
schools,
roads.
The roads, public safety.
Right. That's one of my concerns. That's one of my concerns.
And it's a major concern. Look, I'm all for getting rid of taxes. I'm all for getting rid of property property taxes. But you can't just do it.
Right.
Because whether you're in Hialeah or you're in Miami or you're somewhere up in Orlando or you're where I'm at in Punta Gorda, the real estate taxes pay for the city municipalities to provide public services and provide safety for the community.
Right.
You would potentially eliminate parks and recreation. You may, you may get rid of roads and maintenance. You may get rid of whatever else it may get rid of.
Is that going to affect small business?
It's going to affect small businesses.
I think about this all the time, and I'm like, no one gives me an answer, so I'm glad you're talking about this.
So the big difference to me is the MAGA Republicans are going to say, we need to reduce them, we need to eliminate them, and here's how we're going to do it. But I've never heard Governor DeSantis or anyone in his administration say, here's how we're going to do it. Mm-hmm. They just say, we need to do it.
Right.
How many times have we gone to the voting booths? And there's some kind of constitutional amendment that says, we want to do A, B, and C, and we're going to leave it to the legislature to figure it out later on. Mm-hmm. Well, no. Tell me how you're going to do it.
Right.
Tell me how you're going to do it.
Yeah. Do a town hall meeting.
And it bothers me when I see these amendments on our ballot boxes. Hey, we want to eliminate property taxes. Everybody's going to vote yes. We're going to get 60% of the vote. But nobody has any idea how we're going to do it. So to me, the difference between the two is fixing the problem or just having a political talking point.
To get voters and...
To get voters, to get people behind you, to get reelected or get elected, and just solve the problem.
Yeah. When did you decide you wanted to run? Like, how did you tell your family that you wanted to run? Did your wife say, no, don't do this. Florida's a mess right now.
Look, I have to go back a little bit, right? When my oldest brother was born, my father gave him a football when he was born. He went on to play college football. When my younger brother was born, my dad gave him a soccer ball back in the 70s, and he went on to play college football. Or college soccer. When I was born, my dad gave me a copy of the U.S. Constitution. Now, when I wanted the football or the soccer ball or a basketball or something, but he gave me a copy of the Constitution. So to me, that was kind of the calling initially. 1981, I was in Washington, D.C. for the very first time, met President Reagan. I was in the U.S. Supreme Court. I was in the U.S. Department of Justice, all in the same week. In April of 81. It happened to be the week that President Reagan came back from the hospital after being shot. And my father was a history teacher. So my brothers would be out and about playing in the yard, playing football, soccer, wiffle ball, whatever. And I would be doing that too. But throughout my childhood and growing up, I'd always had the serious conversations with my father about history and the law.
The same thing with me and my dad.
So, when I was in the second grade, I was voted by my second grade classmates as most likely to be voted and elected as U.S. President. Now, do I want to be U.S. President? No. But it kind of set the tone. Okay? And so I've been an attorney for 26 years. And I love the passion of the law. Good lawyers understand there's a difference between your personal beliefs and your professional legal beliefs. You can't mix them. You can't.
No, you can't.
When you mix your personal beliefs into your professional beliefs, you lose sight of who the client is. You may have an issue, you may have a problem, whether it's criminal or civil, and you've asked me to help represent you. I may completely agree with your position personally,
right,
or I may completely disagree with your position legally.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter and shouldn't matter because it's the law. It's the law. So the other difference with the MAGA Republicans and the other DeSantis Republicans is the MAGA Republicans believe on the evidence and they base their case on the law. Whereas I think our current Attorney General is all about the facts. What's the issue at hand? How can I rise somebody or get some kind of, huge uproar going on?
Yeah.
It's about appealing to the people's emotions.
And it's so difficult to talk to them too because, that's another question about the city of Miami with the removal of elections. Everybody sent them letters. Emails, and the city spends so much money. The only thing they did was send in a letter that if they do approve it, they're going to be terminated. But that's it. They left it alone. They left the city of Miami by themselves dealing with that problem.
Yeah.
So I feel that you're giving us good points that you should be more involved with the residents.
Absolutely. Because as the Attorney General, your client is not the governor.
Mm-hmm.
Your client are the 20 some odd million people who reside in the state of Florida.
Correct. And any politician.
And there has to be a true separation of powers. That's why we have the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch. The Attorney General is supposed to be defending every law that the legislature enacts and passes that ends up becoming law.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes moronic when our current Attorney General says, I'm not defending this law because I don't like it. Now I've just mixed my personal feelings to the law.
Yes.
And at that point, I believe it is, any type of dereliction of duty.
Yeah.
Because you are there to defend the laws. And let me give you a great example. Here just a week ago, the First Circuit, or the First District Court of Appeals, declared the gun law, the open carry law, as unconstitutional.
Yes.
Now, a good Attorney General, even though I believe we should have open carry law, a good Attorney General would say, I'm going to appeal this to the Florida Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have an ethical duty. You have a duty to the people of the state of Florida to defend the law that has been there. Although I personally disagree with it.
Right.
You have a duty to take it up to the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
Our current Attorney General said, I'm not appealing it because I don't like the law. That's wrong. That's wrong. So when you look at it from a different perspective, if the state of Florida, to me, gets some left-wing liberal lunatic who becomes Attorney General, we have on the books right now the abortion ban after 6 weeks. If I'm a left-wing lunatic, Attorney General, I could very easily say, I'm not going to defend the law that you can't have an abortion after 6 weeks. And that's scary.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you're not doing what the legislature has done. You're completely disregarding them. You don't care about the separation of powers.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing what is politically a hot topic at that moment.
Correct.
And next thing you know, the Florida legislature is now controlled by one individual who gets to pick and choose what laws get to stay and what laws have to go.
Yeah.
And that's wrong.
Yeah.
That's scary.
So now that you're explaining to us the MAGA and the DeSantis division, who is it to blame for Alligator? How do you say it again?
Alligator Alcatraz.
Alcatraz. Because people are saying no, Trump is the one who did all this stuff. I'm going. Trump was the president. He's the one who demanded all this stuff. But the way that they was handling it was DeSantis, right?
Oh, it was DeSantis and the current Attorney General.
The mess that they did.
The whole mess. So the whole concept is a good idea. Correct.
It was just the way they were handling it, and it's still being bad handled. Because
absolutely,
as an immigrant, I do believe in the law. I do believe there's stuff should be, but there's also innocent people going in there.
Oh, I completely
agree.
And
the way that they're doing it, they're all blaming Trump. But when you do your research, I'm like, Trump was the leader, like the boss. He told everybody, we're going to do immigration cleanup, an example. But the way that they handled it was DeSantis.
Yeah, well, him and the current Attorney General.
Right.
So let me bring this into perspective for you. President Trump came in and said, when I get elected, we're going to clean up the border. We're going to clean up immigration. Mm-hmm. So what did he do? He told us what he wanted to do.
Right. He's the boss.
And then he increased the amount of border patrol agents. Mm-hmm. He shut down the border. he started rounding up people for violations of immigration laws and started deporting people. So not only did he solve the problem, he fixed the problem as well.
Right.
So the concept of Alligator Alcatraz, as they call it, is a great concept. But if you remember, back in June and July, the governor and the attorney general kept promising the people of the state of Florida, the federal government's going to pay for it. The federal government is paying us. It's going to cost $450 million a year. $450 million a year to build and operate this thing. Okay? So the lawsuit gets filed in the Southern District of Florida in Miami. The judge says, look, this isn't right. We're shutting it down.
Right.
They appeal it, rightfully so, to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals up in Atlanta. And the 11th Circuit in Atlanta said, no, this is good. But it's only good because Florida hasn't asked the federal government to reimburse them any money yet.
So this is all taxpayers' money.
This is all Florida taxpayer money. You are out right now about $300 million. The state of Florida. But as soon as the Florida government asks the federal government to reimburse them for 1 penny, the whole facility is going to be shut down because now they have to comply with environmental studies.
Right. So
now DeSantis is in a position where it's, hey, I've been telling everybody the federal government's going to pay for it.
Yeah.
But if he asks for and gets the reimbursement, they have to shut it down. So that was the political talking point. We're going to solve the problem. We're going to make a detention center.
Yeah, and we spoke about this in the last time I saw you, and we agreed that there's so many abandoned jails. There's one, and Belle Glazer's one. There's a couple that they could have done that there, yes. And it would have been cheaper. It wouldn't have to cost so much money because
correct.
That place.
And we have all these state correctional facilities, which they just built a second one.
Yes.
Where they're actually now housing people. They're still operating Alligator Alcatraz. But they've spent like $300 million.
Yeah.
So now I want to know where in the hell my $300 million is. Could that $300 million have gone towards reducing property taxes? Could it have gone towards helping reduce insurance premiums? Sure, it could have.
Yeah.
But now what? Now we have all these extra miles of asphalt laid down. And I'm not saying that it's a bad idea. I think it's a fantastic idea.
It was just the way that they did it.
It's the way they did it. They lied to us about it. And it's crap.
Yeah.
And so being the attorney general, you're not supposed to be here for headlines, to get on TV, to tell people what they want to hear. The attorney general is supposed to be there to tell people what they need to know.
Yes.
I'm going to defend the laws. I'm going to defend you and you and you and you and you and you.
How come they haven't done anything for the city of Miami with the change of elections?
Who, the state?
Yeah.
Because it's not sexy.
Oh.
It's not a sexy... I mean, seriously.
Yeah, but if you were the attorney general right now, and you get all these emails and all these calls about changing election day without voters, what will you do?
Look, so there's the home rule. Right? The Florida Constitution permits that each city government, county government, or any type of, government that goes on has their home rule. They get to set their own rules. Now, I understand why the city of Miami wanted to change their election dates to make it more conducive to a major presidential election or towards
to get more people to
get more people. I certainly understand that.
Yeah, it was just the way that they did it.
The way they did it is they backdoored the voters. It has to be up to the voters.
Correct.
Because the city has their charter, they have their ordinances, and it has to go up by referendum. Now, what the Attorney General can do, they can't tell the city of Miami what to do. You can't.
They can't?
Well, no, you can't. You can say, here's what your charter says. The Attorney General is there to provide advisory opinions to city governments.
Okay, but he sent a letter.
Oh yeah, I know he did.
And he said if they did that, then they were gonna get
removed from office. Really?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I'm saying really, yes, and I've seen many letters written by the Attorney General.
So it's not true.
He can't remove anybody. He can't. The governor has to remove them. But what they're doing is they're saying, if you don't do what I tell you to do, if you don't comply to what I want you to do, if you don't abide by my ideology, and if you don't follow my philosophy, you'll be removed from office. But what happened to freedom of speech? Aren't we the free state of Florida? Aren't we the safe state of Florida? Yeah, we are. So that goes back to why I give my cell phone number to people to build relationships. Perhaps a better way could have been, hey, City of Miami, what you're doing appears to be in violation of your ordinance, appears to be in violation of your charter. You can't do this. Should you continue to try to do this, the state of Florida would have to intervene and use whatever resources the state can do to prevent you from doing this. That goes a hell of a lot different than saying, if you don't do this, you will be removed from office or face criminal or civil penalties. So what has happened? All these other governments that are in the state, these cities and counties who get these letters, they end up saying, oh, well, we don't want to get removed, so we're going to do what the administration wants us to do. That's not the Attorney General's role. It's not. It's not. That's why there's a separation of powers.
Yeah.
And our current Attorney General doesn't understand that. He doesn't. He's never been in a courtroom.
Oh.
I mean, I've been in the courtroom for 26 years. I've had trials. I understand the rules of evidence. I understand procedure.
Yeah.
This guy went straight from law school to become a researcher to go work for the government.
Yeah.
I can't find anywhere in the state of Florida he's ever done a trial. He's ever done a motion or a hearing. I can't find it. Maybe he can show us.
Yeah.
But I can't find it.
We're going to request one.
Absolutely.
As an Attorney General, can you... Okay, so each county has budgets.
Yes.
Like I told you before, there's mismanagement. Miami-Dade has a huge problem that they love spending money.
Yep.
Can you get involved if I call you and say, hey, I need you to get involved to see where the money's spent, the money, where is it going to? We were in a deficit, now we're not in a deficit, the gap was covered, the money was found in the closet. Can you do request something for records or give us an answer?
To an extent, yes. So the Attorney General's role is to, one, protect all the citizens of the state of Florida, to be involved in criminal prosecutions, to be involved in criminal appeals, to be involved in crime victim compensations, to be involved in all civil matters that are involved with the state, and to protect all the land, parks, and waterways of the state of Florida. So if an inquiry or a complaint comes in, hey, we think that the city of Miami is stealing money, that could be a criminal investigation. Or we think they have misappropriated money, that could be a criminal investigation. But if it comes down to, a civil lawsuit, you may have to do that to get an injunction. You may have to get some kind of declaratory judgment to say, hey, you can't do this. But just to, come right out and we're going to prosecute you for what? For what? I mean, where's the evidence? Now, I'm assuming that there's going to be evidence, okay? But the role of the Attorney General is not to individually pick out city governments or county governments and just go after them. That's not the role. You're supposed to be there to collaborate with them, to cooperate with them, and to communicate with them. The chief financial officer may have a different role. for fraud, waste, and abuse.
Yeah.
And the Attorney General is there to root out corruption. So if there's corruption going on in Miami-Dade, yeah, of course. The Attorney General's office should be looking into it.
I want to know where the missing money is. You could do an investigation.
Well, yeah, and I'm going to say, what evidence is there?
I have proof.
Well, and if you have proof, then yeah, I'd love to see it. But it's going to come down to, what is it?
Yeah. And the last time I saw you too, we were talking about, the $9 billion that they're spending in the airport that we don't see. And you gave us a good answer that actually made me think a lot. You're like, well, Mercy, the airport is very expensive. $9 billion is nothing. Again, I keep on saying this. I say this all the time. We spend the airport in Miami is like falling apart. They have $9 billion. They gave them $9 billion. They spent $1 billion. But can we do it, can I call you and say, can we see where the money's going to in the airport?
You can, and it depends on who owns the airport. I am assuming that the city owns Miami International Airport.
Miami-Dade does, not the city of Miami.
So the county owns Miami-Dade. Mm-hmm. You would do a public information request to ask for all the records, contracts, whatever else it may be, used on vendors to operate the airport. Mm-hmm. You start at that point first.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to do, your own little audit or forensic accounting or hire someone to go through it.
Yeah.
But
you did give me an interesting answer the day that we met. You told me, well, $9 billion is nothing in the airport.
It's not.
They spent just fixing the elevators is a lot of money.
Yeah. Because me being an elected official on the airport in Charlotte County.
Correct, yes. You told me that part.
We just passed our first 9-figure budget here last week. And it's expensive to run. But it's also, an airport doesn't control the airlines.
Right.
The airport doesn't control the flight patterns. That's all governed by the FAA.
You're right.
But the management is something different. Who's in charge of the management? Is there a commission? Is there a board? Is there, the county commission? Who's actually managing it? But because the county government owns it or is managing it, it's all open to the public. Mm-hmm. You could walk into the county government building and demand.
Sometimes it's embarrassing, like the videos that they put in social media, how it looks, and I feel like Miami-Dade, the airport is one of the places that gives us the most money.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't know if everybody agrees, but it should be like A1A, that airport. They have to fix the floors. There's like 300 different tiles. It looks dirty all the time. So one day I approved to give them $9 billion. And they only spend $1 billion. What happened to the rest of the money?
Where's the other $8 billion?
Yeah.
So, but keep in mind as well, just about every airport pays into an aviation fund. Right? Florida is the largest airport base in the country. We have more airports than anywhere else in the country. Mm-hmm. And each airport contributes to this aviation fund. And based on the number of passengers, based on fees, based on everything else, will depend how much money you get back. So not only do they potentially get $9 billion from the county, they're getting it also from the aviation community as well.
Correct.
And grants and everything else to use towards upgrades and everything else.
Yeah.
So in my county, we have, let's say, a $100 million budget. The Charlotte County Airport is nothing like Miami. And we have a $1.9 billion a year economic impact to our local community. I can't even imagine what the economic impact value is coming from your airport.
Right.
I mean, it's got to be $20-30 billion.
I even think even more.
Maybe even more.
I think
so. So $9 billion to fix that airport is nothing, but it's also an astronomical number. Mm-hmm. But where is the money?
Correct.
So now you have to look at the books, and that's where the chief financial officer can get involved. Mm-hmm. But that has very little to do with the attorney general, unless there's theft, unless there's misuse, whether there's misappropriation.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden we gave money to FIFA, the World Cup. And we have so many people complaining about that. Can an attorney general get involved? with the FIFA? Where's the money going to? The funds?
Why?
So first it was private. First it was private money. It was a private company, and then all of a sudden we're giving now money. That's our taxpayers' money going to FIFA, and we wanted to cancel it, but there was a contract already, so they can cancel it. So what is your intake with FIFA World Cup coming to Miami?
Look, from a personal perspective, I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's like having the Olympics in Los Angeles in 2028, which I'll be going to.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to bring so much pride to the city to have the World Cup in Miami. That's a given. So then you have, the Florida Doge that comes in. And if the city or if the county is inappropriately or misappropriating funds towards the FIFA tournament going on, well, then you got to look at it. But that's not what the Attorney General's office. That's the Chief Financial Officer. But if there's theft, then it's a whole different ballgame.
That's when you get involved.
That's when we get involved.
Yeah. So if now there's people listening to us, what can you give us at least 3 or 4 what would convince someone to go vote for you?
If you're looking for someone who wants political headlines, who wants to be all over the media, who is looking for the moment now, then that's not me. I'm here to just fix the problem. I'm here to defend the people. I'm here to defend our laws and work with our city government. So when President Trump got elected, there was all kinds of problems.
Yeah. President
Trump has reeled in the problems. He's fixing the problems. We don't need a hot-branded, media-seeking, attention-grabbing individual. We don't. We need what's called a peacemaker attorney general who wants to work with the Trump administration, who wants to work with the people, who wants to defend the laws, who's not here for attention. I'm here to do the job.
Yeah.
And I'm here to fix the problems, and I'm here to defend the laws. So if you want someone who wants the media attention, all the hype, and wants to be all over TV and is about the moment, then vote for somebody else. If you want someone to be here for you, who's going to protect you, who's actually going to care, who actually wants to fix the problems, who is willing to cooperate with people and communicate with people and actually get things done, then I'm the candidate.
I love it. I know you don't live here in Miami, but are you willing to do any events? I have so many people that want to meet you. Because when I post about you, the little meeting that we had, I don't know if you remember, I did a live, and a lot of people say, who is he? I want to meet him. How are we going to meet him? Will you be doing any events here in Miami for people to come and meet you?
Mercy, listen, I've got a great, fantastic team that's helping me.
Okay.
I live 3 hours away from here. I drove my 3 hours just to come to sit with you, whether we talk for 10 minutes or an hour. When we're done, I'm going to get back in my car, head back home. If there's events going on in Miami, I don't care. If there's 10 people there, I'm going to show up. If there's 20 people there, I'm going to show up. I'm not going to just say I'm not coming.
Right.
Miami is an integral part of the state.
Why I ask you, because a lot of Miami politicians do that.
Well, no.
If they see there's nobody there, they cancel at the last minute. So I'm glad you're saying this for people to learn, because it happened to the event from the Venezuelans. A lot of people didn't make it. A candidate was going to come, and 3 minutes before the event started, he canceled.
Look.
So I'm glad you're saying that.
I don't care if Miami has Mexican Americans, Cuban Americans, whatever Americans living here. I went to an event 2 weeks ago that the group that was organizing it was expecting about 50 to 100 people. They asked me to show up. Besides me, there was 2 other people who showed up. So there was only 3 of us there. Only 3 people. But those 2 people that I met with were absolutely fantastic. I've spoken to him several times now. So am I gonna, just show up to shake somebody's hand and leave? No. But I'm willing to travel. That's what the job entails.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna work just as hard when I get elected as I do to get elected. So if I have to come to Miami 100 times over the next month, I'm coming. If I have to come to Miami 1,000 times, over the next year, I'm coming.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Are you knocking on doors? What is your campaign doing now? I know you still have time.
Well, yeah, because the election's in August of next year,
right,
so we still have roughly, roughly 11 months to go. We haven't started knocking on doors because there's a lot. Florida's a huge state.
Yeah. I don't know how you're going to do it.
Florida's a massive state. It takes almost 12 hours to drive from Miami all the way up to the Panhandle.
Yeah.
The far end of the Panhandle. So we have a fantastic team between media, between consultants, between managers. The ground game is building. We have county volunteers, so the network is growing.
It's growing. Yeah. And social media, I always say social media is so important.
Absolutely.
For all it's free advertising, and it's a way that people around the world can interact. So once a week, a live for questions and answers. I actually saw her yesterday again. There's a candidate who's running for commissioner for Miami Beach, and her TikTok, I must say, is 100.
Good. Yeah, look, doing town halls, I think is important.
Too,
because a lot of our, a lot of our countywide or statewide or federal officials, they don't want to do town halls.
No.
Because they don't want to be questioned.
Yeah, I know.
Look, for 26 years, I've been questioning people when I'm in the courtroom. I have no problem being questioned. So you give me a town hall, I'm coming.
We're gonna arrange something. Thank
good.
you so much for coming. Thank you so much.
You.
And we'll stay in touch.
All right, perfect.